You know, one of the best compliments any client can give you is when they bob along in the background to the music you've created for them, which is rather lovely. To those of you who don't know her, this is Justine Blanchard, who is the body confidence buddy. For some odd reason, it's not showing that. It will do presently. And what she does is she helps people in a number of different ways. And part of the reason we are here today, there it is to talk about inspired women and talk about some of the many hats. Now, most of you know me, know that I am a man who does have a large number of hats. But it turns out Justine herself has quite a few of her own. So let me just work through them. I believe one of the first hats I'm going to talk about is your coaching hat.
Yes.
Now, what is that?
Well, I am a coach. I'm a body confidence and wellness coach. And so what that means is I very much focus activities and conversations around a 4-pillar system of your physical body, mental body, emotional body, and soul body. So it's very much about making a connection between all 4, because if we're out of alignment with one of the 4, we may just be generally out of alignment. So I'm a life coach with a very specific niche into body confidence on those 4 pillars.
Wow. Okay. Well, that's an excellent thing. But it turns out that's not the only hat that she wears. A completely different shaped and different colored hat would be her Reiki hat. Now, why would I need you to wear your Reiki hat, Justine?
Well, Reiki is one of my favorite hats. I mean, actually, they're all my favorite hats. But with Reiki, I'm a master. I'm Reiki master level practitioner, and also a master teacher. So I will be starting to teach next year. So watch this space on that. And I work with Reiki on a 1-to-1 and in groups. I work with Reiki in person and also distance, so online or on the phone. And one may want to have a Reiki session if they want to experience an emotional release or a physical release, or just for general well-being. Reiki is excellent for general well-being as well as a particular intention.
Now, this is all very well, and you can see how she's already really set up to help people deal with their daily lives and basically improve their general overall wellness. But on top of that, she works locally within the local community, helping to inspire women, and that is done through her Inspired Woman group. It's a local community one based around the hub in Hampton. Would you tell me a little bit about Inspired Women, please?
Absolutely. So as you said, Inspired Women is a group of women locally in Hampton. The point of Inspired Women is all about inspiring, educating, growing. It's a community, it's collaborative, and it's very supportive. At the moment, we meet face-to-face at the hub in Hampton. And a little teaser is next year, probably around March, I will be introducing online workshops as well. So right now, the membership is very geographically centered. Those who would like to attend some of the online inspirational and educational workshops will be invited to participate online as well.
And the benefits of being, what will they get out of those workshops? Are they how-to guides, or are they more than that?
At each of the face-to-face meetings, there's going to be 2 speakers. One is going to be to inspire, and one is to be to educate. So at the end of each meeting, women will leave feeling that they've learned something and feeling like they've heard somebody's story and got to know somebody a little bit better. The online workshops will be, again, to inspire and to educate. So they'll be a little bit longer in their time, but will also be interactive. And again, one will leave a workshop having learned something and been inspired by the speaker.
And also, I assume that it's going to be almost an opportunity to meet other people who perhaps are suffering or feeling the same things as you are, and there's an element of empathy there, I suppose,
Oh,
that can.
absolutely. I mean, when you get groups of women together, you're always going to find that. It's a group of social networking in a way. So of course, in a group of women socially, there will be business women, but there'll also be women who are retired, women who are employed somewhere and may not think that business networking is for them, or they may be homemakers or carers, or just a point in their lives when they would like to have a night to themselves with other women.
Well, so it's a way to de-stress in a way, isn't it? It's a kind of destination if you're trying to find a way to relax after what may have been a stressful week, whether or not it's stressful because you're caring for something, or stressful because your business has caused you to stress, especially at this time of year and early in January, I guess. So it's very focused on women together, I guess.
Absolutely. It's an act of self-care. We've talked about self-care many
We
times.
have, we have, we
Certainly
have.
being a part of Inspired Women is an act of self-care.
And as I've often said, humans can deal with a bit of repetition, and I think it's important that we point out that having an act of self-care actually helps you in all the other areas. It's difficult to progress in your business or in other areas of your life if you're not looking after yourself.
Absolutely.
But in a neat segue that was, you could almost say, was planned, we've gone away from just generally women meeting each other to support each other towards generalized networking, but business networking, which you're very involved with under the guise of Zuko, or should it be Zoko?
Zuko.
Zuko, of course it is Zuko. And the reason why it's called Zuko, really because it was born out of the pandemic and the situation that meant that we were all having to do Zooms. Where does the Zuko come from? What does it mean?
Yes, absolutely. So it is Zuko. It's Zoco, which often people say Zoko or Zucco, but we do pronounce it Zuko. And fun fact, we don't care how you say it as long as you're talking about it. But the Zuko stands for Zoom and Coffee. Because as you said, it was born during the pandemic, but
Other
always
beverages are available.
other beverages are available, yes, but it just didn't quite work in the logo. But it was born during the pandemic, but always with the intention of it becoming a hybrid network, and we will continue it to be a hybrid network. I say we; it belongs to head honcho Nick Blanchard, aka my husband. But I certainly support him and the network.
I would say it's more than just support. You're intimately involved with it, Justine. You're an integral element. Nay, I say, maybe even a strong tent pole in the middle of this yurt that is, in fact.
Thank you. We support each other in our endeavors.
Exactly, as a good family should. But what I love about Zuko is that you don't need an agenda. You don't need to come along with your virtual business cards outstretched. You can come along, as many do, and be part of a familial business networking community that support each other. Or you can come in there with the idea of finding people who are recommended within certain areas of excellence. Or you can come in there just because you know that you're going to get a happy response from the people you've grown to know and love. Whatever the reason for your being there, I personally recommend that you should come and spend some time at Zuko. Certainly, Justine and Nick have become lifelong friends after really initially meeting on there. I mean, I'd known Nick. I'd met him, I think, a year or two before when he was promoting health insurance, but it was Zuko that cemented our relationship. And we've had get-togethers. I'm even proud to say I was the unofficial after party for their wedding. It's been always very, and I don't use this word lightly, loving and supportive as a network, because you know that you will always get a welcome. You always feel like you are welcomed in there. You're not just, as so many networking tends to be, another.
Mm.
We're not just names on boxes, we're actual people. And it's well worthwhile. Once a month, I think, is it once a month there's speed networking, which is
Speed networking is twice a month.
twice a month.
So
And there's a big general meeting for members twice a month as well.
Once, correct. So we're hybrid. So as I said before, Zuko is hybrid with online main meetings and some in-person meetings as well. 2 speed networkings and one, which is the one we call the main meeting. They all happen online on Zoom on Tuesdays, various Tuesdays of the month. And then the in-person meetings happen once a month in each of their locations.
But every Monday, there's a quick get together for people who just want to be inspired for the week, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely. Well, the Monday Fridays are member only perks, Gareth. So, but yes, certainly.
But yeah. So if you want to get shit done, you can jump on, and either Justine or Nick will cheerleader you into the point where you think I can climb that mountain. I can do that thing, get that job done, make that phone call.
Absolutely. Well, since you mentioned it, so the Monday is it's a drop-in session. It's not networking. We don't go around the room talking about what our businesses are. We talk about what we're going to do that week. So as you said, it's a bit of an accountability session, a way to start your week, telling everybody what you're up to.
But you won't get told off if you don't know exactly what it is.
No, you don't get told off, but you do get celebrated. So if you come at 4:00 every Friday, it's a drop-in again, and where we celebrate our wins and talk about what we're doing for the weekend, really. So, it's where relationships really end up getting built, because whilst we are dropping in and out of online and in-person networking and talking about our businesses on such focus, when you come to the Monday Fridays, that's when you can chit chat and get to know each other a lot better.
Frankly, it's a good place to be. So I would suggest that everyone that sees this video, if they can find the time, do come along to a Zuko session and thank me afterwards.
Yeah, thank you, Gareth.
Not at all. Now, the last thing that I wanted to draw people's attention to, which is not the last, but the last hat we're talking about today, is something that we've written down as live, love, heal, which sounds a bit woo-woo, if I'm going to be honest. It sounds a bit fluffy and airy-fairy. Solidify this for me. Tell me what it really is. What's Live, Love, Heal?
Well, Live, Love, Heal is a workshop series that Jeanette Wong and I have put together. It's a 3-part series in February and March. And actually, it's the culmination of all the hats we've talked about, because the Live, Love, Heal series encompasses some life coaching and practical exercises, as well as a group Reiki session. So Jeanette is also a life coach and Reiki practitioner. So the two of us are going to be sharing the coaching elements and also sharing the Reiki elements. And Jeanette and I met networking. So if it wasn't for networking, Jeanette and I wouldn't have known each other in the first place.
Did you meet through Zuko networking?
She has been to Zuko, but I can't remember if that's where we very first met, to be honest.
But she has. I'm going to take it as a win. She's been to Zuko networking. All right. So overall, these various streams, and you have others as well, but the various streams that we talked about today, they're all towards creating safe and inspiring spaces, primarily for women, but also in Zuko for everyone to achieve better through better relationships.
Absolutely. And actually, with my coaching hat and my Reiki hat, that's not women only. That is for everyone. And it is absolutely my desire to work with a lot more men, particularly in the body confidence coaching area of my business. Because
it's interesting, isn't it? Because there's a lot of pressure constantly on women to look a certain way and to appear a certain way and to always be happy and joyful and all that stuff. And yeah. I think over time, I wouldn't say that's resolved. I still see women spending a lot of time pretending to be one way when they're not. But men have kind of rather been left behind. And that means that we still have issues where we don't quite feel ourselves and we feel a bit lost. So yes, I think this is the right time for that.
Absolutely. And actually, I'm really glad that you said that second part, because, you know, it isn't just about how we look, but about how we feel. And it's not about the physical body always and the appearance of our physical bodies. It is very much that balance between the physical, mental, emotional, and soul bodies. And I feel that now is a really, really important time for men to make that connection with themselves, and for men to be able to express themselves and express their feelings. And now is the time for men to reach out when they need a little bit of support. So yeah, I don't want to jump on the soapbox about that right now in this particular video, but this is a public service announcement. Men who are watching this right now, it doesn't have to be me, but please go speak to someone.
I'm going to say this. It is manly to feel low. It is manly to ask for support. It is manly to ask that support from someone whose only interest in life at that point is to give you a good sounding board and help you get back to your bouncy, upbeat, optimistic self. So these things are not wussy or girly or any of those other terms. It is okay to be an emotional being. It is okay to have feelings, and also it's okay to want to feel heard, whether you're a man or a woman. And perhaps there's been a lot of focus on women, and I'd say quite rightly. But I would say that men, you need to keep up as well. You know, so all it remains for me to do is say thank you so much, Justine.
Thank you.
Well, it's important points that we're making. The overall thing is, whether it's via coaching, whether it's the energy transfer techniques, whether it's by getting together with other women to find a communal strength and support, or whether it's getting together on networking and face-to-face groups, or part of these retreats and workshops, whichever way you choose, seek the help you need. Don't sit on it. Don't push it down and hope it will go away. Face up to it and deal with it. And I would say one of your first ports of call will be to have a chat to Justine. Thank you so much indeed for sharing that all with me. And to all of you out there, try and look after yourselves, look after that mental health. And remember, there are brighter days to come. This too shall pass. There's much more wonderful stuff just behind the horizon. Just because you can't see it does not mean it's there, not there. Until next time, I wish you all well. Bye-bye now.
Thank you.